Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 322 of Super Switch Headz, the premier Nintendo podcast on all of the internet. My name is David Howe, and we are joined by two very special guests on today's episode of the podcast. Returning to the show, Chris McKeever and Mr. Garrett Buss. How's it going, gentlemen?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Great to have both of you guys on today. Very excited to talk all about the upcoming Nintendo Direct. You heard that right. There has been myriad rumors that there will be a Nintendo Direct this week, the week that this episode is coming out. It has been corroborated by leakers that never get anything wrong. So we're resting all of our hats on the fact that there will be a Nintendo Direct this week. And if not, this episode should be relevant for whenever we do get a Direct, because we will be going all over our predictions for what we think the first general Direct of the Switch 2 era may contain.
How come they don't tell anybody?
How come they don't tell anybody when they're coming?
If it's going to happen this week, people should want to know, right?
I'm hoping that by the time this episode comes out, it's confirmed. If not, you can skip this part of the episode and just move forward, and we'll all be much better for it. On top of that, we also have just a ton of news that happened over the past week. Silksong released and thereby crashed every storefront that it was available on. Nintendo Classics saw some updates. Ubisoft employee has explained why Star Wars Outlaws released as a game key card. And also that game's looking a little bit better than we thought it was going to look, and much, much more. But before we get into all of that stuff, how are you guys doing? Did you guys have a good week?
I currently have COVID, so not my strongest.
Yeah.
But it did allow me to stay home and do this podcast with you.
That's true. Yeah, you usually have a Monday night scheduling conflict.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I don't want to say that I'm happy that you have COVID, but I'm happy you're on the show. Can I say that?
That's kind of you.
Yeah, I like to think I try to be as kind as possible on the podcast.
That's good.
What number COVID is this? How many times have you gotten COVID now?
I think this is maybe just 2.
Okay, that's good.
2 or 3.
That's good numbers. Yeah. I think I've had it 3 times, maybe 4.
I got the vaccine like a month ago too, which is a bummer.
Well, we don't need those anymore. You heard that, right? They're bad. Apparently they're bad. They cause autism.
Yeah.
So
they make your head explode.
Yeah. So you should get somewhere to suck that out of you.
Joke's on them. I've always loved trains.
What about you, Garrett? How was your past week?
You know, man, ups and downs. I had a pretty good week generally, but today I just moved to Los Angeles from Austin in July. And today I went to the California DMV to get a driver's license.
Wow.
I was there for 2.5 hours and I left licenseless.
Oh
no.
You hate to see it.
That's not the point. You're supposed to get one.
Did they at least give you some weed?
No, man.
They hand that out at the DMV. They're like, here's some weed. Don't smoke this before you drive, though.
That's my understanding of California.
They said, you're going to be real cool about this, okay?
Did you get there late? Did it close or something? What happened?
No, I got there on time. Basically, because I'm a first resident for California, you need a bunch of different documents to support the fact that you live there. And I had a document that was a lease agreement for a sublease. And they let me know after 2.5 hours that subleases don't count. You need a real apartment, year-long lease kind of stuff. So,
wow. So
you hate to see it.
Don't ever let anyone tell you, listener, that this is not an educational show. We will teach you all the tips you need for getting driver's licenses.
They give you weed at the California DMV.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And we also spread false information about marijuana. I had a pretty good week. Thanks for asking, guys. I don't know. I didn't do too much, but actually that's not true. I got a new car. I bought a brand new car. I own a new car now. So that's nice. My last one got totaled.
What color is it?
It's like red. It's like a red burgundy-ish.
I have a red burgundy-ish one.
Really?
Did you steal Chris's car?
No.
Did you steal my car?
I don't even know where your car is, motherfucker.
Well, neither do I, because I think you stole it.
He stole your car and then he lost it.
Is yours a Nissan Sentra? Because that's what I drive now.
No, I don't think so.
Well, then we're in the clear. Thank Christ.
Nice.
But no, it's nice to finally have a car that's like, somewhat modern. I feel good about it. Bought it in cash. I had some money saved up. And I am now like, whoa, I have way less money than I used to have. But that's
a lot of nickels.
Yeah. That's a lot of nickels. And then other than that, it's just a great time when you're unemployed to drop a bunch of money on a car. But anyway, other than that, I started watching for the first time King of the Hill in earnest. I'd seen like episodes in the past, but this is the first time I started. Just the other day, I had a hankering. I tell you, I'm unemployed.
A hankering? Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I had a hankering to watch some, and I started with season 1, and I gotta say, I get what it's all about.
Yeah, it starts off strong.
It's a very, very funny show.
And then remains strong.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's
Good
like,
show.
I was like, oh, this will be like a show I can play Picross during, but I just find myself wanting to look at the animation a lot. And I'm just kind of locked the fuck in on King of the Hill right now. So only, 13 seasons to get through before I can get to the new Hulu season. I think we'll be able to make it work. I'm unemployed. But that just about does it for our weeks. We're going to get into the news here in a second. But before we do, I did want to give a quick little shout out from last week's episode. We did with Alex from Polygon Treehouse. We did an episode on multi-platform games. We had a developer on to talk all about the different ways that you design games when it comes to making games for different platforms. And Cool Uncle Vince in the Discord.
This episode's going to be different than that.
Yeah, this episode's going to be a little bit different than that one. Yeah. It's a little less prestige. Maybe a little bit more views on YouTube. We'll have to see. But Cool Uncle Vince in the Discord said, this was a good episode. I love hearing the practical logistics of stuff like porting to other systems. And I love hearing the weird minutia differences of what the Switch can do and how to use tools to fake it. So thank you very much for that, Vince. And to everyone who, engages with the show on Discord, leaves a comment on YouTube. If you too would like to be shouted out, that's all you got to do. Leave a little comment over there on the YouTube, like and subscribe while you're over there. We do a video version of the podcast. And right now I've got 3 very handsome men on the show. You'd hate to miss the visual element of this podcast. So make sure you go subscribe over there. Leave a comment. We'll shout you out, whatever you have to say, or hit us up. God, we're getting some just muscle daddy moments over here from Garrett in the video. You're really missing out if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple.
Oh.
But you know what? That's okay.
I love that Kermit.
Go to your...
That Kermit was great.
We got a Kermit
Thanks,
tattoo. But anyway, you know the drill. Share the show with a friend. Hit us up on social media. We'll have more about that at the end of the show. But I think with all that out of the way, let's get into the motherfucking news. How does that sound? We all feeling good about that?
Before we do that, should we take our shirts off?
No, but Chris, we talked about this. This is the Shirts On podcast. This is for children.
Sure?
We just say the F word.
And we don't want to take our shirts off?
Look, if you guys want to take your shirts off, I'm not going to stop you. Okay? I'm not as tatted as you hunks are. Okay?
Yet.
Yeah, that's true. Yet. No time like the present.
Let me at that skin.
All right, news. We're moving into the news. We're going to start here with Silksong. Silksong was the huge, big release of the past week. Everybody in the world, except for me, is playing it, including both of our guests here today. This was a massive release. Obviously, this game's been in development for 7 years, released for $20, took down every single platform that it was on. I think the eShop crashed. The PlayStation Store didn't update for a long time. People couldn't even get to it. I think even Steam crashed. This is going to be a huge, huge, huge seller for Team Cherry. I think that's pretty great. I think this is a success story. I'm not a huge Hollow Knight fan. I feel like everything is Dark Souls these days, and I don't love Dark Souls. And I mean, I love the idea of this game, but my patience wanes. I put it down and then I pick it back up a few days later and I have no idea where the hell I am. So that is my experience with Hollow Knight, but I'm very happy for everyone that is playing and currently enjoying it. What do you all think about Silksong so far? Can I get any kind of off the cuff reactions?
Personally, I can't believe they released it with so many bugs in it.
Oh my gosh. Now we're having fun here, folks. We are having fun here. This guy, you're
had that one locked in for hours.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's good. That's good. I do like it. What about you, Garrett? What do you think so far about this game?
Loved it. To them, Sky High. I'm still in Act 1, so I'm not too deep in. I think like 6 hours or so. It's the best. It's the best. This is not a spoiler, but more of a thing you can do in this game. There's a mechanic where your character can jump in the air and then diagonally bounce down into people and then bounce off again.
Do you bounce off diagonally as well?
I think you bounce off kind of up a little bit to the side. You don't bounce necessarily in a straight line, but it's so satisfying to just do, sideways pogoing on everybody. I'm jumping all over the dang place.
Oh, I'm happy for you. Do you have the map yet? We were talking about this. Do you have the map?
I have a couple of maps of different areas, though it's not
there
all
are multiple
totally
maps. See, that's crazy. I started this game up. Checked it out. I was playing some of Jordan's copy, and I couldn't find the map, and I got frustrated, and I put it down. I played some other shit, but I'm happy for everybody. This was a crazy release. I think a lot of other indie developers actually moved the release dates of their games once they saw that Silksong was coming out to avoid this week where they knew everybody would only be playing Silksong. But I think we're going to go ahead and move away from Silksong here to talk about the second most anticipated indie game of this year, and that is Monochrome Heights. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. Monochrome Heights from One Frog Games, friend of the show, PDYX, Patrick Knisley himself, finally has a release date. This just dropped this morning, and it is coming out October 7th, 2025. That is less than a month away. I am very excited about this. Obviously, if you've been listening to the show for a long time, Patrick Knisley used to be one of the hosts on this podcast. So I am very, very excited to play this game. I played the demo and a few of the early builds and had a blast with it. And I've been waiting for all the final chapters and levels that I haven't been able to play yet. You guys play the demo for this at all? Are you excited? Do you like to support your friend's art?
I haven't played the demo, but I have seen some of the things that he's posted, and I will support this game.
Yeah.
Ditto. I'm treating it like I'm treating any other big, highly anticipated game.
Yeah.
I don't like to mess around with demos, man. I want to get in there for the first time.
Sure.
Looking at how high these monochromes are. And just giving it my all,
Yeah, this is a very fun game. It's if you're not familiar with the genre, it is a kind of precision pixel platformer, but it's not precise due to the difficulty of the platforming. It's kind of difficult because there's this color swapping mechanic. So it's as you're going, you can change yourself from white to black. And when you're black, you can jump on black platforms, and when you're white, you can jump on white platforms. And so it's kind of, you have to it's sort of like a puzzle game and a platformer all in one, but it plays very, very fast. It's a ton of fun. I'm super excited. I can't wait to hopefully have Patrick on to talk about finishing this game, and maybe we'll do a spoiler talk on this game. But I loved playing the demo, and it was a ton of fun so far. Anybody
think he'd come back?
Yeah, he'd come. Yeah,
you think he'd come back?
No, it's Matt that doesn't come back to the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, Patrick will come back pretty much whenever I ask him, and we thank him for that. But we're going to go ahead and move on to our next bit of news here, and that is a couple updates to Nintendo Switch Online, and namely the Nintendo Classics apps. So as you may know, Nintendo recently rebranded the Nintendo Switch Online emulator apps to Nintendo Classics, or at least they have been as they've been getting updates, right? And one of the games that came out, because there were two that came out this past week in different areas, was Forsaken for the Nintendo 64. Forsaken, I think most people know as the cover that had that woman's face with the crying heart tattoo or whatever on it. It was a very distinctive cover of the game, but it's actually a super fun game. I played this recently. I think Night Dive Studios put out a port of this game on PC, and I played it there. But it's a 6 Degrees of Freedom game, very similar to Descent, where it's a first-person shooter. You can go upside down, you can fly in any direction, you can go up and down, and it's kind of in all these caverns. Forsaken is a really awesome game. I love this game. Definitely give this one a try if you haven't. It's being added to the Nintendo 64 Mature 17 Plus app, which is its own bespoke app.
Sounds hot. Sounds really hot.
Yeah, I don't think there's any like sexual stuff in this game. I think it's just like maybe cussing. I don't know why it's rated M.
Listen, I'm super horny for Foreskin 64.
It's Forsaken.
Oh,
Forsaken 64, please. And then we're getting that because Japan never got Forsaken 64.
Probably because of the nudity.
Probably because of the nudity and all the foreskin. But Japan did get their own game as well for the Nintendo Classics for the Game Boy Advance. They got a game called Magical Vacation. Now, this game never came out in the US, so it's kind of tit for tat here, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, tits because of the
exactly because of foreskin. But Magical Vacation is a really cool game, and I think it had a sequel for the DS that did get brought to the States, but the original GBA game did not. It's kind of like a turn-based JRPG sort of thing. Really beautiful art style. There is a fan translation of this game, but I don't think it's complete. Maybe now with this coming out, that'll actually get some more support and be finished here kind of soon. But because of that, both the Nintendo Classics Game Boy Advance app in the US and in Japan got an update. So it is now officially called Nintendo Classics Game Boy Advance. It has, 1080p handheld support for the Switch 2 now. It has the button remapping that's been added to everything else, and it obviously has that big rebranding update for the app there, for the Game Boy Advance app. N64 already got this. It's, essentially as they're pushing out new games and they do updates anyway, they kind of couple them with this. Any thoughts on either of these games? Garrett, you ever play Forsaken?
Never played Forsaken. My parents were religious, so they didn't let me play those kinds of games. Or you can
horny ones, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because that was just for church. That's what church is all about.
Is playing N64 games?
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
But I've never even heard of Magical Vacation Land. What is it called?
It's Magical Vacation.
Magical Vacation. Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds whimsical. It sounds like, people are going to come to this place and they're going to leave different and change for the better, I hope.
Yeah, if all goes right.
What was the game where you, I think it was for the NES, where you just went to Disneyland?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Is it just
like a little kid?
Is it Disneyland Vacation? I don't know.
No, it might be called Disneyland. Maybe like a day at Disney or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never heard of that.
It's awesome. Oh, Adventures of the Magic Kingdom.
Adventures of the Magic Kingdom. Okay.
It's great.
The kid's like a cowboy, right? He has like a little cowboy hat on.
Yeah, the kid's a little cowboy and he's going around, and each ride is like a different kind of mini game.
Mm-hmm. Dang,
it's really good. They should put that on the mature Switch.
Yeah, just add foreskin to it.
Yeah. Make sure it has foreskin.
One last thing
cowboy
on this.
Hats are phallic.
Yeah, exactly. One last thing I'll add to this is that the release of Forsaken for the N64 seemingly confirms that leak that we saw before of upcoming games to be added to the Nintendo 64 app. It was in one of the videos that they had shown where they showed the different effects and everything like that. I think you were on that episode when we talked about it, Chris, because I brought up CRT and you said critical race theory, and it was like a CRT update. But in that, essentially, they had like blurred out games in the background, and people were able to, use Gaussian blur to find out that Forsaken was one of them. Other ones in there was Donkey Kong 64, Glover, and Super Smash Brothers for the N64. So
those are all games I'm familiar with.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully those come, not to the mature app, but do come to the regular app.
If they're on the mature app, they'll definitely come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, Chris!
Absolutely.
Chris, what has gotten into you?
Children's
Chris?
show. Anyway, I hope that we see Smash Brothers very soon and Donkey Kong 64. It makes sense for both to come. Maybe we'll see those in a direct. We'll have to find out. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next bit of the news here. And that is that Nintendo has won a $2 million lawsuit against the creators of the MIG Switch. Some of you might be familiar with this. The MIG Switch was kind of the first real flash cart, you could call it, for the Nintendo Switch. It was a cartridge that you put a little SD card into. You would load it up with essentially Switch ROMs or image files or whatever they are for the Switch. And then, every time you bring it in and out on the home screen, it would show you whatever games that you have installed on there. This was controversial. And I think that Nintendo has already been known to have banned Switch 2 systems from using NSO that were detected as using the MIG switch, but now it is official that Nintendo has sued the creator of it and has won for a $20 million payout. So that's good for Nintendo, I guess. I think, definitely the creator of MIG here was poking the bear. There was quite a bit of, hey, if you stop selling these, we'll drop a lawsuit. And he just didn't stop selling them. And I think, in fact, a lot of them came loaded with ROMs on it, which is probably what ended up doing him in. But I know, Garrett, I'd like to know your thoughts on this. I know that you like to emulate old games. I certainly do as well. But what are your thoughts on kind of the Nintendo Switch flashcart situation? Do you think Nintendo is in their right here?
I say, boo, Nintendo.
Wow.
Nintendo, as always, is kind of like, there's the creatives, the people that make the art and the games that you play. And you love those dudes. Oh my gosh, I love these guys. They think of Donkey Kong in crazy scenarios. But then everybody else that works in, especially the legal department of Nintendo, public enemy number one for this guy. I hate those guys. $20 million. Do you think the guy that sold the MG carts made $20 million?
It's only $2 million, but still.
Oh, $2 million.
Yeah, but still probably not.
That's a crazy amount of money. If somebody sued me for $2 million, I'd be like, I don't know what to tell you, Chief. But obviously I recognize that, when you're selling pirated software, it's one thing, but emulation's awesome. I think it's so cool. I think playing all these games is so cool. And so unless it's super egregious or nefarious, I usually struggle to have any kind of real empathy for the biggest game publisher of all time. You know what I mean? They're not hurting for the dough.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels to me more like it's setting a precedent for anybody else to follow after this with their own flashcards. But what do you think about this, Chris?
Personally, I think collaboration and progress would thrive in a stateless, classless, moneyless society.
Here. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. Yeah, you're not wrong there. I mean, and I'm certainly no fan of intellectual property law or copyright law in general. I think it's way outdated. This is something I talk about on the show quite a bit. This is my own personal soapbox for such an endeavor. But, I definitely think that if you're going to be making a tool that plays pirated Switch games, don't put any pirated Switch games on it when you sell it. You know what I mean? I think that having the tools to play backups or whatever you want to do with it, it's not illegal. And I think that stuff should exist. I think Nintendo's within their rights to, ban whoever they want that they find using it. I don't love that, but they're certainly within their rights. I didn't really see this going any other way, but at least now we have clarification on what will happen in the future. I think that it's probably best to only sell hardware to pirate games that no longer have open eShops. I'll say that. I think that's probably for the best. So 3DS, have at it. Fuck that thing. We're going to move on now to a little bit of news about Star Wars Outlaws. We talked a little bit about this game last week and some early impressions that we'd heard out of PAX West. At that time, we were hearing that the game ran a little poorly and didn't look super great. But the game is out now, and very much there has been an about face on coverage of this game. Either, someone was just in a bad situation when they were trying the game out at PAX, or it was an earlier build. But either way, this is the first current gen, PS5, Xbox Series X exclusive era game to get a Switch 2 port. This is the first Nintendo Switch 2 game that has ray tracing working in the game. It's got DLSS, making it look pretty dang good. And apparently this port runs very, very well. And I'm really...
Now that's pod racing.
Yeah, exactly. Right? That is definitely pod racing at this point. I'm really happy to see it. I had kind of written this off, to be honest, but this is one that I'll probably wait for a deal on, some sort of discount. But this is something that I would like to pick up. But with all that out of the way, one of the Ubisoft devs that worked on this game actually shed a little bit of light about this game and why it released on a game key card. Because apparently the game is only 20 gigs or something like that, which is about a third of the size of its, home console counterparts on these other modern consoles. So people were like, why was this game released as a game key card? if it could all easily fit onto an actual Switch cartridge. And the answer was that the game was designed for PS5 and Xbox that have the SSDs, have the very reduced load times, and that the actual speed of the game is too fast for a Switch 2 cartridge.
Now that's pod racing.
Now that is pod racing. That's right, Chris. And I don't know that this completely justifies game key cards for me. I know a lot of people really hate them. I don't really care because I buy everything digitally anyway. But what do you guys think about this? Do you have any thoughts about it? I mean, do you have any thoughts on game key cards in general? Kind of this idea of, a game that you can sell, but you still have to download even if you have the cartridge. What do you guys think about this?
I think, game key cards, it's one of those things where, I kind of don't personally understand the tech behind it that makes it run different. I mean, I guess I can understand just on a basic level of a downloaded game to a Switch does not have to connect to hardware at all. It doesn't, it can take that entire middleman out. But this kind of reminds me of, I don't know, how Sonic the Hedgehog was like marketed, where it was like, Nintendo's so slow. They can't do anything fast, but our beefy box, we can make a hedgehog run quick. That's
with
kind of
blast processing, right?
Blast processing.
Yeah.
So there must be blast processing in these game cartridges that I don't know about.
Yeah. I mean, apparently it goes like speed wise, at least like read and write speed from the game card. It's like that is the slowest, and then SDEX or whatever, the new like SD cards for the Switch, and then having it on console is going to be the fastest, right? The way that the load times kind of work and everything, because you're going in and out of the planet, and the load times are kind of hidden and everything like that. So I suppose it makes sense. Do you have any thoughts on this, Chris?
Yeah, game key cards sounds like the type of thing Watto might sell in his junk shop. Am I right, fellas?
Chris, you are going cuckoo bananas with this stuff today, and I'm loving it.
So you are looking for some game of key cards. Hey, come on.
That's very good. That sounds just like Watto.
That's what he would say too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I've not practiced a Watto impression, but I'm happy to do it. Speaking of Watto, did you guys see there was a trend on Blue Sky recently with artists where they would draw sexy Watto? That happened the other day. That was pretty nice. Just like a bunch of really explicit drawings of Watto.
And what website would this be on, hypothetically?
Bluesky.app. Bsky.app. Check right in. Search Watto. It'll be the first thing that comes up. Anyway, I'm excited to check this out. Apparently, it came out today that they will be releasing a free demo for Star Wars Outlaws on the Switch 2 later this year. So nice. I think that shows confidence in it. I think the press has really turned around on it. And I wish them luck. And it really makes me hope for future AAA current gen games on Switch 2. Because if they're able to pull this off, and the DLSS is really a magic button that they can hit, you lock your game at 30 FPS, be able to have a lot of cross-platform stuff. It really opens the door for a lot of experiences that you could be playing on this system. But we're going to go
now
ahead.
That's pod racing.
Now that is pod racing. I think we can all agree with that.
Third time's the best.
Yeah, you get one more as a callback, but it has to be at the very end of the episode. Okay,
it's already locked and loaded.
All right, very good. We're going to move on to our next bit of news, and that involves a trademark from Valve. So Valve has officially trademarked something called Steam Frame. There has been a lot of rumors recently about upcoming Valve hardware. There are two known kind of I guess you call them like keywords or I don't know what you would call them, the kind of secret names that people have for things. They have those in internal documents. One of them is Fremont, which is kind of a set-top box home console that apparently will be a little bit stronger than a Steam Deck. I'm kind of all for that. I would actually probably get one of those if they ended up putting that out. And then they also have something that they've been referring to as Deckard, which is a VR headset, a standalone VR headset that would kind of be a competitor for the MetaQuest. Now, they have trademarked Steam Frame, and it does seem that the Steam Frame is the headset. And I think mainly people are thinking that because apparently inside kind of Steam files, they have renamed the Steam VR overlays to Steam Frames. So I think that they're kind of making a big rebranding of what this tech is and kind of putting it all within the frame category. So I would imagine that pretty soon we'll be seeing a kind kind of reveal of this tech. I know the last time that they trademarked something was the Steam Deck, and a trailer came out the following day, right, for the Steam Deck. I don't know that it's happening so soon. It's been a few days now since this trademark went through, but I know this is pretty exciting, and I've been looking for a nice, competent standalone VR headset to actually get into VR. Garrett, I know you're a big Steam Deck fan. Does the idea of a Steam frame, a VR headset that's standalone, does that entice you at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I got a secondhand Meta Quest 2 way back in like 2022, I think, and I played basically one game. I played the Resident Evil 4 VR game.
Okay.
But I played the heck out of it. I did Beat Saber. But it was still at kind of a point where it got incredibly hot. It was still pretty heavy, kind of laborious and a bit of a pain to get everything all situated where you have enough room to play and all that stuff. But that's because it was Facebook, baby. It was Oculus. They don't know. They only know phones. They only know Zuckerberg. But Steam, those guys know games. They know how to make stuff. So,
and this wouldn't be their first VR headset either. They had the Valve Index. Yeah, but that you had to connect to a computer, right? So I think,
of course,
this I think would be able to connect to a computer, but then would also stand alone. Chris, are you a VR guy? Do you have a VR headset?
Only for about 8 to 15 minutes at a time in that Nintendo Mature section.
Sure. Yeah. You're bouncing on the VRSy. But does this excite you at all? Or do you like the idea of a Valve standalone headset?
Yeah, I mean it sounds cool. I've got my Meta Quest right here.
Oh, okay. Which one is that? Is that the newest one?
I think it's the 2. No, God no.
Okay.
I think it's the 2.
Right.
I never use it anymore.
Right.
Games for me are mostly social activities, and you need someone else to have a VR headset,
right,
to do stuff in VR with other people.
Right.
I and the few times that I've done that, I would just do like VR fishing and just like fish and chill and talk shit. And
that sounds great, but it also sounds like that wears out its welcome pretty quickly.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. We'll have to see how it goes. I know I'm still surprised that VR has not taken off yet, right? But I mean, I'm part of the problem. I've got an Oculus Quest here, like the first standalone one that they had, and it's been sitting here in a box. I use it to prop up my computer on my desk. So that's about the extent that I use my headset as well. But maybe they'll knock it out of the park.
Let's all get into VR and watch pornography together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Bros that goon together.
Swoon together.
Thank you. I needed that. That's why I'm here with a couple of improvisers. All right. We're going to move on to our next bit of news, and that involves Steven Spielberg and Call of Duty. That's right. Apparently, there is a Call of Duty movie coming out. Great. And that is happening with Paramount, the newly owned by Little Ellison Paramount. The Skydance merger has gone through, and it seems this upcoming Call of Duty movie is going to be happening there. But apparently, this was originally going to be a Steven Spielberg film. And apparently it was Steven Spielberg who really wanted to do it. He came to Activision and was like, I want to do the Call of Duty movie. Here's my pitch for it. I've got all this stuff done. He apparently had I don't know if he had a whole script, but he had a whole outline and a whole idea. And he just wanted final cut on the movie. And Activision was like, nah. They turned him down. Apparently they were like, we want somebody that we can basically make the movie that we want to make, right? I think they wanted a director that they could push around. And so it left Spielberg and went to Paramount, which I'm not sure who is actually directing the movie now. I don't know if that has been announced yet, but I just find that to be pretty funny. Kind of a huge L for Activision, truly. I think.
I mean, massive, right? He's like the director that you think would want to. Well, okay, if he was pitching Call of Duty, I kind of would assume he would be going for World War II.
World War II? Yeah.
Because he's he makes like 1,000 World War II movies. But I kind of feel like it to me, maybe it would have been great with Spielberg, but I kind of feel like it's almost like a hat on a hat in a way, where Call of Duty is so based off of movies about war, and now you're going to make a movie off of a video game that is based off a movie about. Do you know what I mean? Like
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking for my Switch 2 port of Warhorse.
Dude, you love that movie.
I love Warhorse because war is sadder when it happens to a horse.
And I just don't fuck with horse movies in general. I don't like horse movies. I've never seen a horse movie.
You lack whimsy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's right. That's right.
And
I
don't even not like horses. I just think every horse movie is bad. Seabiscuit sucks.
Whoa.
Black
have
Beauty
you seen
sucks.
What about Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron?
Don't even start with me.
It's
incredible. I don't even fuck with that movie.
It's incredible.
I don't fuck with Hidalgo. I don't fuck with
Beauty.
I don't fuck with Black Beauty. I don't fuck with Racing Stripes. Okay.
Okay, well, he's a zebra.
Okay, but it's horse adjacent. Yeah. Okay.
So they're not even related.
Anyway, this is beside the point. This is definitely getting beside the point. I do think that I've got a theory about this, because I mean, David Ellison, like I said, he's now the CEO of Paramount. You know, he was the head of Skydance, you know, the heir to the Ellison fortune, along with his sister Megan, who was the head of Annapurna. And, you know, they just did this huge deal with Paramount, and they just also hired, what's her name? Weiss. What's her name? Barry Weiss.
What's her bona fides?
Yeah, Barry Weiss, who is like the super right wing, like Zionist, like she like owns the Free Press and
she's like a journalist, you know, Fox Newsy type.
Yeah, she started the University of Austin or whatever, which is like a super like right wing, like conservative thing. You know, they just brought her on to like basically head CBS News, right? Jesus, so I think it's like Paramount is going full right wing, like Trump MAGA, right? And so I got an idea that like basically Spielberg like had, you know, a kind of anti-war Call of Duty film in here, and they were like, no, we're looking for some propaganda, dog. And that's actually what we're trying to do. I might be wrong on that. That's a little bit of a tinfoil hat theory, but it's not looking good for Paramount right now. Definitely seems to be a propaganda wing for the MAGA party, but we're going to go ahead and table the rest of our politics for the rest of the episode.
I think that if we didn't have money, we would get along better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. UBI, Star Trek. Anyway, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to our last bit of news here, and it involves a PlayStation State of Play that just happened the other day. And it was all about 007 First Light, the new James Bond game that's coming out with a guy who looks just like a young guy. Like, he doesn't really look like James Bond to me, but the game does look cool, I will say. And that is coming out to all platforms, including Switch 2, but PlayStation got the big scoop for their Direct. Yeah, that happened. I don't know. Did you guys have a chance to watch this at all? You guys see any of this?
Did not watch it. Is the people that are doing this the people that did Hitman? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It is the Hitman developers, and it definitely gives Hitman vibes in this as well. So I think it looks good. I'm excited. But again, this is more current gen AAA games that are going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. And, you know, I think the state of plays are getting better at PlayStation. I actually have been playing my PlayStation a little bit recently for the first time in ever since I got my PS5. I'll talk about that at the end of the show. But you have any thoughts on this, Chris? Are you a James Bond guy?
I'm looking at him right now. He's not even that hot.
I don't think he's that hot. Yeah.
Not even that hot.
Yeah, he reminds me of the redhead guy that they got for like the Jedi Survivor games. You know what I mean? He just seems like kind of like he's like boyish.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he looks like Tom Cruise, but if from his cheekbones up, it was like ripped off and replaced with another man's head.
Well, that's a visual. That's a visual I don't want to think about too much longer. But
you guys know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But
look at the Jedi Survivor guy now. He's not even that hot.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You're just looking at Watto.
We just need.
It's just Watto. Yeah, I'm just looking at.
Hey, I'm a Jedi. I'm a survivor. Hey, come on.
Hold on. Let me go to Blue Sky real quick.
All right. I think with that, we're going to take a small break here. We're going to move into our main topic, which is all about our thoughts and predictions for the Nintendo Direct that, fingers crossed, is happening at the end of this week. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. And we are back to talk all about our Nintendo Direct September General Direct predictions. We are here with Chris McKeever and Garrett Buss. What do you guys think kind of off the bat? Like, there's been, to catch you up, there have been several rumors that there is going to be one this week. It started with Switch Force, who is a YouTuber who has been right about a bunch of stuff recently. It was corroborated by VGC, then got corroborated by Nate the Hate, who has gotten every single direct right that he has said. So he's definitely got some insiders there that are feeding him stuff. Do you think this is definitely happening?
Not going to happen.
Really?
Not
You're saying
happen.
right now?
No way. It's all hype.
Yeah. You think
Not
so?
gonna
You think Nintendo's just done with directs in general, Chris?
Yeah, I think, yeah, we saw the last one.
Yeah, it's all Nintendo today from here on out, just their app. Garrett, what about you? I mean, is this all hot air? Are we doing this entire episode in jest?
I gotta believe.
Yeah.
If you think about the big one, the one with all the announcements and the lineup, that was April, right?
Right.
Was that April or was that
for the Switch 2? And then there was a partner
Switch 2.
showcase at the
Okay.
Was it July? It was in the summer, right? So we've been due for a big general
We've been due
direct.
for. It seems like we've been doing it for a while, and also Christmas, baby. You gotta get that. You gotta get those stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
And September is the perfect time to start planting those seeds.
Yeah, I think as of now we have like a game every month, but there are still a lot of holes that could be filled. So I think that there's a lot of like new stuff that definitely could be announced. We'll get into some of our thoughts on what we think some of that might be here in this main topic. But also we'll be going over what we know, what we expect, and then some leaks that we've heard about as well. So I'm excited to get into all of that with you guys right now. Off the bat, should we start with some wild predictions? Do you guys have anything you would love to see that no one's thought about?
Costco shopping simulator.
Okay. There's a million games like that on the eShop already, Chris.
Yeah, but none of them are Costco branded.
Do you want Costco to make the game?
I want Costco. Yeah, I want Costco to be involved.
Okay.
And I want you to have to put in your number.
Membership.
Oh, you
Your
have to be a
membership
member? They should make a free app then. It should be a free game that comes with your membership.
But,
I love
you could
that.
have DLC. You could have a skin as the Rizzler. Think about that.
I guess he is a big Costco guy. Isn't he? Apparently he's pro Palestine as well. I'm not sure if that was bait or not, but apparently he was like I disagree with the Republic of Israel.
Isn't he 9 years old?
Hey, dude, he's wise beyond his years.
That's awesome for the Rizzler.
He's both wise beyond his years, and he looks like he's a 40-year-old man. But I think we could put that to the side. I'd be down for Costco. What about you, Garrett? Is there anything wild predictions you would love to see?
It's going to seem maybe not so wild, and it's also going to seem kind of like who cares even if it's true. But I'm thinking, whenever I'm thinking about Nintendo's slate, I'm thinking about that original Smash Brothers lineup, all those beautiful guys and girls in those games. And we got a Donkey Kong game coming. Or already out, don't we? And we have a Zelda game coming. And we got update for Kirby. We got a Metroid game coming. Now there's one guy that hasn't gotten a game in a little while that I think is going to be announced at this Switch Direct, and of course I'm speaking of Yoshi. Okay. They're gonna give Yoshi the Forgotten World treatment, 3D. You eat someone and you poop them out as eggs, and then you throw the eggs at more guys. But this time it's on a whole different scope, and it's also on the moon this time.
I love that.
I do love that. I think a 3D Yoshi game would be a ton of fun. I think that there is a pretty good chance that we will see Yoshi in some form at this Direct. And I think that could come in the form of a couple things. I mean, one of them is Yoshi's Woolly World for the Wii U that has yet to have a port to the original Switch, much less the Switch 2. Obviously there was Crafted World, which came out for the Switch. But I think a while ago in one of the trailers, there was like a screenshot from Woolly World Present. So that'd be really cool if they just kind of drop that out of nowhere. The other way that we could see Yoshi is potentially in Mario Galaxy 2, where it was a 3D game where you could mount Yoshi, ride him around. That was never a part of the 3D All-Stars game, so I would love to see that as well. But Chris, did you have another big swing that you
One
wanted
more
to
big
say?
swing. You ready for this?
Yep.
At the Direct, Nintendo announces new hardware, PlayStation 6.
The Nintendo PlayStation 6. Get off the
PlayStation.
Get off the
6.
fucking podcast. This is a Nintendo podcast.
Yeah, it's the Nintendo PlayStation 6. They swoop in. They take the name PlayStation 6 from Sony. Nothing they can do about it.
That's a great point.
Bada bing, bada boom.
That's actually, that's not
Who's
a
the
bad
king?
idea.
Who's the king?
We need to see if Sony has trademarked the PS6 yet. And if not, one of us should do it. I think we should get ahead of Nintendo here.
Well, the thing about numbers is that they're infinite. So, assuming that humanity doesn't explode itself, they can make so many PlayStations.
Yeah.
Which one do you think they're up to? Do you think they got it all the way to 10? Or do you think they got to 100?
If you trademark PlayStation Infinity, I think it captures all numbers. So they probably have their.
You get everything below it.
Yeah. And I'm a lawyer, so I know this. But we're gonna go ahead. Let's go ahead and I think we should start the conversation in earnest here about what we might see with what we Chris, I've had enough of you. With what we know and what is confirmed and what will likely be in the show. Now, let's go ahead and start with a couple Switch 1 games that we know are confirmed. Rhythm Heaven Groove and Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. These were all shown in a previous direct. The what game?
The little egg game. You keep a little egg.
No, that's Tamagotchi. Tomodachi is a different game entirely. It's like a me game.
We'll see.
It's a game where you play as your Miis. I'm very excited for Tomodachi Life. I was a fan of it on 3DS. I'm very excited for this new one. And I'm obviously a huge fan of Rhythm Heaven Groove as well. Those both we know are coming in 2026, but we don't have a release date for. I think it's very well possible that either of those games or both might be early 2026, in which case we'll probably get a release date for one, if not both of those. But they might just want to avoid Switch 1 games in entirety. But I think we'll probably be seeing some Switch 1 games here. What do you think about this, Garrett? Do you think that like Switch 1 games are likely to be seen at this direct?
They'll put out a couple of them because they pity us. They go, the old fogies want something to play on their busted old system from 2017. Here you go.
Yeah.
Hey, we did a remake of WarioWare 3. Yeah. Enjoy, idiot. But I think it's going to be 4 games max.
Yeah, absolutely. In that breath, I do think also that we'll be likely to see a bunch of Nintendo Switch 2 editions revealed here, or at least I hope we do. That's a big one for me, is that a lot of these Switch 1 games that they play on the Switch 2, but I think could be improved in either fidelity or frame rate or whatever. I'd love to see a lot of those come to Switch 2. I mean, obviously, one of the big ones that needs to come, just because the game ran like shit, was the Princess Peach game that came out. Not that I have a hankering to play that again, but I will say, like, playing that on Switch 1, I was like, this feels like it was made for Switch 2, and they really had to downgrade it in order to do that. But I think a couple other ones off the noggin that I think could use some updates would be Mario Wonder. I think that would make a ton of sense. The Xenoblade games, people have been really asking for those. It'd be great to see Nintendo Switch 2 versions of Xenoblade games.
Lust for Darkness.
Yeah, Lust for Darkness, which is what you were saying during the break. That's a BDSM game that's on the Nintendo eShop. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So you'd love to see a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of that. The Donkey Kong Country games that are on there, Animal Crossing, Metroid Prime. I think it'd be great to have a Switch 2 edition of that, or just something that plays 4K on your TV. That's some stuff I'd like to see. I think kind of moving into the Switch 2 games that we know are confirmed but need release dates. We've got a few of these here as well. We've got Metroid Prime 4, Splatoon Raiders. I think definitely we'll be seeing some Splatoon Raiders in this direct here. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment has been in 2 directs now, and we have not still gotten a release date. So hopefully we'll hear when that's coming out. And then this isn't a Nintendo first party, but Duskbloods is going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. And we have no idea when that game is coming out, just that it exists. Which of these games do you think is most likely that we'll be seeing?
I want to know if Hyrule Warriors is coming out before Christmas.
Why is that?
Because I think it would be cool to have in people's stockings.
Okay, yeah. Like a little stocking stuffer, sure.
Yeah, little stuffers.
Yeah. I feel like
Fill the holes.
I feel like a $70 like game is. I mean, I think the Switch 2 cartridges and like cases like fit really well in a stocking, but it's like, what's your max on like a stocking stuffer price?
What's the most amount of money that you could put in a stocking?
Yeah, I feel that's like candy and chocolate, and then maybe like a little doodad you find at like at like the checkout aisle at Lowe's, not Lowe's. What's the
Yeah, the 2x4.
No, where's the place where you
give him a nail gun?
Where's the place where you buy clothes that sounds like Lowe's?
Kohl's.
Kohl's, thank you. You know exactly what I was saying. What about you, Garrett?
What was the question?
It was just out of the four of those, out of the
what at Lowe's would you put in a stocking?
Out of
like a big old hammer.
The Switch 2 games that we know are confirmed, but we don't have release dates yet. Like, which one are you most excited to see, or do you think we'll see all of these?
Well, most excited to see would probably be the Dusk Bloods. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, Dusk Bloods,
the new From Software game. Which is I kind of feel like I'm tug of war between, do I really care about this or do I not care about this at all? Because Bloodborne, my favorite From Software game, one of my favorite games ever. So I love the team and the aesthetic and stuff. But hearing that it's going to be multiplayer, maybe in a way similar to Night Rain, makes me not really care all that much. But then it's on Nintendo, so maybe Mario shows up in it. So, but I don't think we're going to hear anything about that. I don't think it's going to show up in the direct. They're probably going to touch base again in another year or something. Sure. And give us a playable trailer or something. I don't know.
What about Metroid Prime 4? I mean, I think that is.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're definitely going to get a release date for Metroid Prime 4 in this direct. But it's like, I guess my question would be, do you think that they'll put out ports of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 before this? Because like we have Metroid Prime 1 out, but are people just gonna be able to jump from Metroid Prime 1 to Metroid Prime 4? Like, does it matter? Like, or it's like, are people even gonna have time? It's like that, if it is actually releasing in 2025, it's not a ton of time for people to actually like play through those games before getting to Metroid Prime 4. What do you think about that?
I would say the most clutch thing that Nintendo could do, which is probably not going to be something that they would do, is drop the trilogy, so like a collection of 1, 2, and 3 as a thing, and say, hey, in 2 months it's going to come out, come buy it, and then Metroid's coming right at the very end of the year, something like that. But I feel like to predict Nintendo by thinking about what would be badass is kind of folly, you know, because
always
they're just doing whatever they're doing, man.
You got to hype responsibly. Yeah. Well, that's kind of things that I think all of those games, maybe not Duskbloods, but certainly Elden Ring will get a release date for, I would think.
Oh, of course.
But I think it would be very weird to not see more about Splatoon Raiders or to get a release date for Age of Imprisonment. So I think all of those are pretty likely. Now, something to note is that if this direct is happening on Friday, which is September 12th, one day after 9/11, never forget, it also means that it is one day before Mario's 40th anniversary. Now, we have talked at length on this podcast. In fact, we did a whole episode on what we would want to see for Mario's 40th anniversary. So we won't go too into detail on this, but I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that, at first they were saying, a lot of the leakers were saying that it's likely that we would get multiple directs here, one for Mario and one that's like more of a general direct. Do you guys think that that's the case, or do you think that they'd rope in Mario's 40th anniversary into this?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I like that little Italian man. I would love to see a new 3D Mario. I mean, obviously there has to be one for the Switch 2 at some point.
Right.
Now, why not the 40th?
Well, there was never a sequel to Odyssey. It's like, well, come on.
Yep.
Yeah. I know you're a big Mario Maker fan.
I love Chris. Mario Maker. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think it's out of anything that could happen, I feel like Mario Maker 3 is the biggest slam dunk that they could do, right? Because the developers for Mario Odyssey also made Donkey Kong Bonanza. I don't think that means that we won't see a new game from them. I think Donkey Kong Bonanza has been done for a while, but it's like, it would feel weird to get a new 3D Mario within like 6 months of Donkey Kong Bonanza, right? Because it's like they're like the same. Donkey Kong Bonanza feels like Odyssey too, right? Which you know, I loved Bonanza probably even more than Odyssey. But you know, I'd still love to see a 3D game from them. But I think it's like the best stopgap would really be, I think, Mario Maker personally. And I think instead of getting a Nintendo Switch 2 edition for Mario Maker 2, it's a great opportunity to just make a brand new game with, you know, new elements, new tiles, new all this.
Give me a genuine 3D Mario Maker, right? Like,
okay, that's what you'd like to see. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we had 3D World, which was like very silly because it was a 2D game called 3D World. But yeah, give me like a genuine 3D Mario Maker. Let's go in all directions.
Would you want it to be kind of in that Mario 3D World style, where it's kind of like
I want it to be in Mario 64 style. That's
okay, yeah, like straight up. It'd be cool if you could do different styles, you know, like the GameCube style, the N64, kind of like they have in this. But if they do that, I still want the 2D stuff to be in it, because I think like
sure,
especially now with like the mouse mode of the Switch 2 and everything like that, it just lends itself so much to that. And I think also I'm like worried because I think that a lot of times when you play, like when you get Nintendo Switch 2 editions, when you play online, like you're not in the same pool as the people that are playing the Nintendo Switch 1 edition. You know, not that I'm like playing Mario Maker 2 online all the time, but like I've heard that like Mario Maker 2 like is dead when you play it on Switch 2, but not on Switch 1. So I don't know how the online works for these games. But either way, what I'm saying is don't fragment that base anymore. Make a Mario Maker 3, have everybody move over to that, have it just be a Switch 2 exclusive. Absolutely. Fix the online lag problem, you know, maybe have some rollback netcode. These are my like ultimate wishes, I think, for Mario Maker 3. But
give me that 3D Mario Maker 3 and I'll be saying, ooh, banana.
Yeah, cross
is that a promise?
genre.
Is that a guarantee?
I will be saying that.
That's a McKeever guarantee right there.
100%.
Yeah. Wow.
I love that.
Ooh, banana.
A couple other ideas for Mario's 40th anniversary that people have been talking about a lot is, you know, Galaxy 2, like we brought up earlier. Galaxy 2 is not a part of 3D All-Stars when that came out. So some kind of update for that game, or just selling it bespoke. I mean, what do you do at this point? Because I mean, for the 35th anniversary, Nintendo deleted a bunch of Mario stuff. Like you can't buy Mario 3D All-Stars anymore, or like Mario Brothers 35, for instance, which is a game I loved. You know, how would they put out a Galaxy 2 even? You know, do you think that they would have it be a part of that thing, or would it be by itself, or do they even care? Seems like Nintendo wants to pretend that game doesn't exist, even though it's my favorite 3D platformer.
I wonder why. Is it because Yoshi's in it?
Well,
is Yoshi the problem?
Well, it did use
Yoshi's
like
the
point
problem.
screen, like pointer controls for his tongue a lot when you would like do stuff. So that's a little hard to do exactly. It's easier with the mouse.
Hot.
Oh, it's hot?
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
The tongue stuff is hot.
We love a long tongue king. But yeah, I don't know. We'd have to see about that. Something I would like to see for the Mario's 40th anniversary here is some Mario Kart World updates. I think at this point, the game is already starting to feel kind of dated, and it just came out, you know? So like, can we get some updates, dog? You know, I think that would be really, really nice to see.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Foot race level.
Where everybody just like runs around.
Carts. Yeah, just running.
Everybody's running.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, poor Waluigi.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, Waluigi. Never mind.
No, he'd kick ass.
Long
He's
legs.
got those long legs. Yeah,
he's canonically the fastest Mario character.
No worry.
Yeah.
I got a pitch for you guys.
Please.
Just thought of it. Hear me out. It's a 2D Mario game in the style of Wonder. You know, like the more recent kind of 2D thing. And you know, you have Mario running as he is wont to do, jumping as he loves to do. And he gets hit by a Goomba, right? And he's like normal sized Mario, and then he shrinks down to little sized Mario, right? Walling around. This is nerve wracking. He's gonna die soon. He keeps running. He hits another Goomba. He gets smaller. The world zooms in a little bit, and then it's a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Every time Mario gets hit, he doesn't die. He just gets smaller, and everything that was little is now bigger, and now it's a bigger obstacle.
Everything is the 4th level of Mario 3.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
But down to like the atomic subatomic level.
It just keeps going until he's a quark.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's Journey Through Inner Space, the Mario game.
Yeah,
it would sell $1 billion.
Did you play UFO 50, Garrett?
No, I did not.
So there is a game in UFO 50 that is kind of like that, where like you shrink down and you're like, wow, this game is like so cool. It's like the world has gotten so much bigger, and then you shrink down again, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you shrink down again, and you're like, whoa. It's fucking crazy. But I'd love to see that kind of moved over to the Mario franchise. I think that'd be pretty cool. That's a great idea. I love that. Do you guys think we'll be seeing movie news for the Super Mario Brothers movie 2?
If we do, obviously the dream scenario is a very, very funny presentation by Miyamoto, where he just shows Jason Sudeikis. He's awesome. Stuff like that. Just pictures of different celebrities.
Is he playing Yoshi or something?
Maybe. I don't know, but we don't know who's going to play him yet. Nothing will ever beat Chris Pratt. He's so cool. Yeah. I wept with laughter. That was so funny to me.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, no, I'm into that. I think it's pretty likely that we'd see some of that. I don't have it here on the notes, but I mean, Nintendo Today app has been posting a lot of Zelda stuff recently, like renders from Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword and stuff like that. I mean, I think that Nintendo wants Zelda to be like a yearly franchise. I feel like Echoes of Wisdom was still pretty recent, so I don't know that we'll be seeing anything new from Grezzo anytime soon. I don't think that we'll be seeing anything from the main team anytime soon. And the whole idea of the Wind Waker Twilight Princess double pack that people have been talking about forever, that those ports are apparently done. I don't know if it completely writes it off, but I mean, Wind Waker is on the GameCube app on Nintendo Switch too. So I don't know if we'll see that. Do you guys think we'll be seeing any kind of Zelda representation here at the September Direct?
Yes.
In what form? What could you see it taking?
A Zelda video game.
Okay. Well, what about you, Garrett? What kind of Zelda video game? Maybe you can expand on Chris's presumption here.
I think I'm gonna go Babe Ruth mode.
Got to.
Grezzo, they made the beloved remake of Link's Awakening, right? And everybody's thinking too small in a little box of what the next one would be, right? They're going, well, they did the Echoes of Wisdom, and now they'll probably do the Oracle games, because those are basically the same kind of, Game Boy. They're not going to do that. It's too smart, too normal. What they're going to do, Four Swords Adventures, they're bringing it back. Ooh. And they're making it online. And it's going to make $2 quadrillion, and that's going to be all of 2026 is Miyamoto on his knees going, if you don't buy more copies of Zelda Four Swords Adventures Redux DX, I am going to turn into ash.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. I think that Four Swords has needed a bespoke Switch game for a while. It's like something you could play online. And I have always thought that would make for an excellent like NSO game. Or, just like something that comes with the service, like a Tetris 99 or a F-Zero 99 or something like that. Like something that really is like multiplayer centric. I love the idea of that. And I've been preaching that for a while. I think that's a great idea because like what else are they going to release, right? It's like maybe the Twilight Princess port, maybe they do that. Or maybe some sort of, I don't know, a Link, Zelda 2, Link's Adventure could use a remake. I think that could be really, really nice to see. There's been some rumors about an Ocarina of Time remake as well, but I just don't see it right now.
Okay, hear me out. And I'm just spitballing here, right? Toon Link, he's in like a village and he's hitting a chicken with a sword over and over and over again, right? Just hit the chicken with a sword. All of a sudden, chickens get very upset. He gets hit by a chicken, shrinks down into little Link, right?
Oh my God.
He's only got one hit left. Hit left.
This is scary.
Gets hit by a second chicken, shrinks down again. now he's running around
Mario that shrinks
from
when he gets
giant chickens.
Oh my
right?
God.
We get down to the molecular level.
Oh my God.
Now we got a little guy with a sword and a grappling hook trying to grab atoms
of chickens.
trying to feed himself, right? Because if he doesn't eat,
Yeah, what do you eat at the
starves.
subatomic level?
Subatoms?
Hello, I'm Mr. Subaton.
Dude, that was awesome. That was so cool.
Thank
That was bad.
That was so cool what you just said. I love that. No, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see with Zelda. Probably nothing. Let's get real. What I do think that
I hate Zelda.
Yeah, fuck Zelda. Dude, Zelda. I hate that boy. I hate the boy Zelda.
That boy Zelda.
Maybe we'll see some about the Zelda movie though. Maybe
yeah.
Maybe there's a whole movie section where they're like Zelda movie, Mario movie updates, and they officially announce the Donkey Kong movie. That could be kind of cool. Like a little like Shiggy's Cinema Corner. That's what they could call it.
Shiggy's Cinema Shack. So cool.
Yeah, and he says it in English too. He's like,
Are they
"Welcome
gonna give
to
Seth Rogen the whole movie?"
Yeah, well, I would imagine for a Donkey Kong they would bring back Seth Rogen. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
banana.
that sounds more like that's DK and Butthead is what. Banana. Anyway, okay. I think a couple other things that are pretty likely that we'll see is Fire Emblem. It has been a long time since Fire Emblem, and people have been talking about Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War remake for years at this point. And I think that it's done. You know, I've been saying this for a while. I think that a Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War remake has been completed and is sitting there, and they're trying to find a good release window to put it out. We know Intelligent Systems is working on the new Rhythm Heaven game. They'll probably also have a team working on a new Paper Mario as well, which means that I feel that that a Fire Emblem, announcement of some form is pretty likely here. Sadly, we do not have Summer on the podcast here. Summer is our resident Fire Emblem head, but I think this is pretty likely. Are either of you Fire Emblem players?
I'm opposed to war.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Check this out.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem, 4 houses.
I mean, I'm down. I thought 3 Houses was one of the few Fire Emblem games I've played, and I thought it was excellent. I could definitely use the sequel.
4 houses.
Although I never did beat that game. I don't know if everybody died or whatever.
What happens is when you get hit in one of those houses, you shrink down.
A little smaller.
The house shrinks. It's like Dragon Ball Z.
That's right.
You put it in a little pill. All right. Well, I think that Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War is pretty likely. And then I do think another thing that is pretty likely here is some updates for GameCube Nintendo Classics. So I think that, the ones that we know are still coming are
Which
Mario.
of these are mature?
No, so far we do not have a GameCube mature app. Inshallah, let's keep it that way. But I mean, although there are some really good mature GameCube games that I'd love to see come over, namely Twin Snakes, Metal Gear Solid, Eternal Darkness, that would probably need its own app.
That one had a lot of foreskin in it.
It's so much foreskin, dude.
Too much.
Yeah, you would be hallucinating and everything would be foreskin, and that's how you know that you have to take your pills or whatever. I don't really remember how that game worked, but that was a fun game. But we do know the ones that are coming that were shown in that trailer are Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Pokemon XD, and Pokemon Coliseum, and Luigi's Mansion. Those are the ones that are remaining out of the ones that we haven't seen so far. So I think Luigi's Mansion is pretty likely to come. Maybe Mario Sunshine as well. I'd love to see those Pokemon games come because apparently they're full single-player RPGs, which I did not know. I thought it was a Pokemon Stadium-style game because it's called Pokemon Coliseum, but apparently not.
You want to know what would be the worst, not the worst, but such a horrible Nintendo move that they could do?
What's up?
Is if they announce a certain plumber is turning 40 tomorrow, so in honor of that, Nintendo is going to make Super Mario Sunshine playable on the GameCube.
Yeah, that's the extent of their 40th anniversary.
The game that they have already released once and took away, and they're like, we're doing you a favor right now. You can actually play it.
Yeah. I could see them doing that. Yeah.
Wouldn't that suck? Wouldn't that be so are we in the realm of likelies or still in a certain, with Fire Emblem stuff?
Yeah, so whatever you have is good.
This is a long shot, not as long a shot as Mario, but he gets little. But I don't know the status of how long it's been since the development team at Square Enix did the Dragon Quest. They're going through multiple Dragon Quest games and making the HD 2D games, and they did Live Alive a couple of years ago and stuff like that.
Team Asana.
It just feels like they're inching towards a Chrono Trigger HD 2D game. I don't know. I don't think that this is the direct for them to announce it, but whenever they do, that's going to be gangbusters.
Do you want to see it in that style? In that graphical style?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. I think it'd be really, really nice. Yeah, it is interesting. They're going through, the Dragon Quest games. They've got 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. And then they've got the Adventures of Elliot coming out soon, which is kind of another HD2D game. And
from Pete's Dragon.
Yeah, I think so. And then also, was it Octopath Traveler 0 is coming out. That's in the same style. Oh,
that's right.
Well. So we are definitely living in the era of HD2D. I would like to see some form of Chrono Trigger. It's crazy that you can't play that on Switch.
Insane.
It's crazy. You can play it on Steam just fine. I play it on my Steam Deck. Like, it's got a great PC port, but it's just not on Switch. It makes zero sense to me. But let's maybe move on a little bit here. I mean, let's talk about third parties. You know, there's been some leaks, and we'll kind of sprinkle some of these leaks out, but I think a lot of third-party games have been chirped about online. Some of those include, this is to varying degrees of leakage. Some of it, take this with a grain of salt, but, apparently there's a Jedi Fallen Order Survivor double pack that's been in the work for Switch 2. Starfield is coming to Switch 2, according to Nate the Hate. So that I think is pretty likely. And then on top of that, just lots of Microsoft owned IP. It's like, where is Microsoft? I think that we know a Call of Duty is coming because there's court documents saying that Call of Duty has to come to Switch 2. Otherwise, Microsoft can't buy Activision, right? So, like,
Steven Spielberg says it himself.
Yeah, exactly. The creator of Boom Blocks, Steven Spielberg, said that himself. So, Call of Duty, I think, needs to come. Doom: The Dark Ages has been rumored. Master Chief Collection has been rumored. Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush. I think it would be really nice to see just like a Microsoft section in this, or at least see some of those games come. Are there any like third-party games that you guys think are kind of locks for this direct, or something that you would like to see?
I had a real Sea of Thieves moment in my life. I will say that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing as vibey as just crossing an ocean with your friends.
Yeah. I mean, would you pick it up on Switch 2 to play it portably?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
It's another one that's like just for social gaming though. Like I would never play it solo.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you even can play that game solo.
You can.
Okay. Okay.
But you need a crew.
Gotcha.
You need a crew. And isn't that true in life as well?
I think
you need a crew.
I think, yeah.
You can do it by yourself, but it's a lot harder and you don't get as much grog.
Absolutely. My crew is 2 live.
Third party, is that so?
Anything that isn't Nintendo.
Anything at all that's not Nintendo.
Oh, the Costco game.
The Costco game, guys.
But like
the Rizzler and the others.
Let's say maybe like games that we like know are on other platforms that we want to see come to Switch 2.
I mean, who knows if they'd ever do it because it's so tied to the Sony brand, but Spider-Man, you put the Spider-Man, even the first one is on Steam Deck, so you can run it portably already. There's a version that can run on handheld. Put Spider-Man on Switch 2, you're going to make $1 trillion because it's Nintendo plus Spider-Man. I mean, how do you not make money? But that's obviously so copacetic with the PlayStation.
I wouldn't write that off, to be honest. I think that, there have been some like job listings recently, and there's been a lot of talk from PlayStation about being a little bit more platform agnostic, right?
Get me ports of Spider-Man.
yeah, that would be nice. I think Spider-Man, Helldivers, I think it's all on the table right now, so I think that would be really great to see. Let's move on here to a couple other leaks, just beyond third party. And these are games that have been rumored to be talked about here, that I think would be really nice to see. Starting with Nintendo, Kirby Planet Robobot has been on a lot of people's tongues recently online as they've been flapping their mouths, talking about rumors here. I think it's maybe not the direct for that. We've got 2 upcoming Kirby games here, or we just had, rather, the Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition, and we have Kirby Air Riders coming. So I think maybe we were a little bit saturated with Kirby, so maybe they hold that one. But Kid Icarus Uprising, the 3DS game, that was rumored for a while. That's what everybody kind of thought Sakurai was working on before it was revealed that he was working on a Kirby Air Ride sequel. Do you guys think that Kid Icarus Uprising port might ever happen? I'd love to see it personally.
I mean, well, I haven't played the game. Does it make a huge amount of use of the top screen, bottom screen?
No, not really at all. I think it would port excellently to the Switch. And I think that, in fact, it was kind of like too big for the 3DS. Like the control method was really weird. It was a very strange fit on the 3DS, and I think it would have a really great home on Switch 2.
Nice.
So that would be like one of my big wants as far as like stuff that has been leaked already. We kind of already talked about the Wind Waker Twilight Princess situation. But one thing that we've been hearing from Switchforce here, and I'd love to get your guys' thoughts on this, is he said that there will be 3 games that include the number 7 in it in some capacity. That's what Switchforce has said. He's been playing very coy. And apparently this is not Ace Attorney 7. He's shot that one down. But it could be a couple other ones. Do you guys have any thoughts on what Switchforce might mean by that?
Obviously, the first game that I think of is Final Fantasy VII, which they've already announced. That was already in the Switch 2 thing. Yeah, I don't know if it had a release date.
No, there's no release date yet. It was playable at PAX West as well. So
maybe they drop a release date.
So that could be one of them.
Remake.
Right.
Okay.
007, maybe. They show more about that. Maybe they have a section for that in there. But I feel like
I know what the third one is.
What is it?
I know you ready?
Yeah.
PlayStation 7.
Oh my God. They're 2 steps ahead. They're two steps ahead.
Well, that's can't show that because
on top.
During this podcast, I already trademarked PlayStation 7, sadly.
Good.
So,
dude,
well, you're going to get a payday. You're going to get a $2 million payday when they announce it in the direct.
They're going to give you the $2 million they took from that MG
the big guy,
and they're going to hand it to you. For PlayStation 7.
They're very frugal. They the money go round on that one.
We're all just passing around the same $20. Am I right, guys?
Honestly,
I will say
us and the Nintendo Corporation.
Let's count this out real quick. Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, Mario Galaxy 2, Super Mario 3D World, Mario Odyssey. That means the next 3D Mario game is the seventh 3D Mario game. Maybe it's that.
You also have to consider plus Bowser's Fury. Maybe that's
that's a side. That's a 7. That's a 6.5. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's an idea. Maybe. Dragon Quest 7 is also a potential, but why would they jump from 3 to 7? I don't really know.
That would be crazy.
Nobody else has any other ideas about this 7 rumor. It's a very annoying rumor.
Maybe what he was saying is that the 7 deadly sins will all be on display during this direct.
It's a game where you have to figure out what's in the box.
Sloth. Yeah, exactly.
What was the BDSM game? That's a couple sins right there.
Lust for Darkness.
There you go. Yeah, it's right there in the title. Okay, well, let's talk about, obviously there's going to be stuff. The stuff that I'm most excited about is the stuff that we can't even predict. You know what I mean? Like I want to be blown away by some random shit, right? So you can't really predict that kind of stuff, but maybe let's kind of end this here talking about some of our biggest wants. And I think, maybe franchises that we haven't seen in a really long time that we'd love to see here that we don't really have any indication is happening, but I would love to see. I think Star Fox, we haven't had a Star Fox game in 9 years, right? It has been a long ass motherfucking time. And if there was ever a time to bring it back, it's when Nintendo has like the most powerful, actually not the most powerful, the most popular platform in all of gaming right now, right? So
I'd love to do a barrel roll.
Yeah, I would love to do a barrel roll, especially with my friends. Something cooperative I think would be really awesome.
That would be awesome.
Maybe get you in on it, Chris. I know you like social gaming. I think some sort of open, squad-based Star Fox game could be really, really, really cool.
That would be rad.
There have been rumors, but I think they're all pretty much made up about a new Animal Crossing game. But I think that the time is right for a new Animal Crossing game.
Sure.
And I think
it's been 5 years.
Yeah, and we're at a position right now where people are buying the Switch 2 because it's available right now, and also I think people are worried about a price increase on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think by the end of this year, they're going to see a bit of a dip in sales on Switch 2 is what I would say. The way that you bring that up, you release an Animal Crossing game. I think exclusive to Switch 2 Animal Crossing game would bring so many people over to the new platform. I think regardless, even if it goes up $50 in price due to the tariffs next year, I think people would pay it for an Animal Crossing game, especially if they were able to get, a $500 bundle with Animal Crossing included or something like that.
Sure.
Right?
I just want to mention that in March and April of 2020, I put 450 hours into Animal Crossing New Horizons and then never played it again.
Same. I mean, I didn't put that much time into it, but I the only time I played it recently was when my friend Molly was like, "Hey, do you want to like hang out at Animal Crossing and look at each other's islands?" And I was immediately just like gripped with dread. I was like, yeah, sure, but
hold on, let me clean
I don't
it
know
up.
what's going on in there.
People coming to your house without plans. Yeah,
exactly.
It's completely overgrown.
This is terrible. But no, I'm on your side. That said, if they put out a new Animal Crossing, I would jump right back in. I would. I don't. The DLC wasn't enough for me to pick back up New Horizons, but I would be very excited. What about you, Garrett? Are you an Animal Crossing fan?
I like Animal Crossing as much as the next guy. I kind of feel like Animal Crossing, and forgive me if I don't want to go through the whole series, but it's GameCube and then Wii. But did they do one for the Wii U, or did they just do one?
No,
for
the one for
handhelds
the one for the Wii U
point?
was like a Mario Party style game.
Okay,
yeah,
and then they just did the 3DS New Leaf, and then
the DS had one as well. Yeah,
DS, of course. It kind of feels like they don't always revolutionize. This is a new Animal Crossing. It's kind of with each system, more or less, there is the installment. So with that being said, maybe they do a Animal Crossing, but I would bet my money on 2 years in, 3 years, because Animal Crossing came out in 2020 and OG Switch came out in 2017. So they had a couple of years to get people in.
They want to cook with it too. Like the New Horizons was delayed a lot for them to like actually fill it out, So I imagine that they're not going to rush anything out as far as Animal Crossing is concerned.
I put out the siren song, or the bat signal, I guess you could say, because I'm a man of the people, to a couple of my friends. What do you think?
As opposed to a siren on an island.
Come here, come here,
Come to me.
crash into my rocks.
Your titties out and everything.
I got 3 predictions coming from my buddies.
Okay.
2 from a buddy named Sam McCarthy. Shout out Sam McCarthy.
Okay.
And then 1 from a guy, Jordan Pilkington. Shout out Jordan. The predictions are as follows. First off, F-Zero. I mean, we're the people crave, the people yearn for more F-Zero. And the fact that now it's on GameCube.
Almost every F-Zero game is playable on the Switch too right now.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
F-Zero?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's pod racing.
Oh my God, Chris,
you said you were going to save it for the end of the show.
Just when I think he's done, he comes right back out with it. He smacks. That's so cool.
It's called a button, Chris. A button.
This has been really fun. Thanks for having me.
No. Stay.
Oh my gosh, he exploded. Another one that Sam McCarthy thought of was a non-Prime Metroid, so something like a Dread. Just announce. Don't show any real gameplay, but just be like trailer. Hey. A new Metroid that's, side-scrolling is in development. And then fervently, excitedly, Jordan predicted Punch-Out. He's swearing by it. He's saying it's a matter of time. Punch-Out's going to make its grand return, and it's going to blow everybody's mind.
Mike Tyson came back to boxing.
Yeah. That's true. Mm-hmm. And it went great for him. He made a bunch of money.
Yeah, I think if the new Punch-Out comes out, Mike Tyson will be the Glass Joe of the new Punch-Out.
Well, no, it would be. We talked about this on a previous episode. If they make a new Punch-Out, it'll be Jake Paul's Punch-Out.
Jake Paul, yeah, exactly.
What a nightmare, man.
I mean, I don't know. I want to see Punch-Out return. I think it's pretty likely, but I think people are worried that Punch-Out is too racist to come back.
Sure. You got to imagine, David, you were punching the stereotypes, you know?
That's
you were
true.
going, yeah, all Russian men look like that, and I'm going to punch the stereotype away.
Yeah, that's what I do with stereotypes and bigotry. I punch it. No, but I think those are all really great. Thank you for putting out feelers to all your friends and having them kind of guest on the show without actually being on the show. I think that those are really good predictions that I like, all of them. I think F-Zero feels a little bit like it is having a Donkey Kong moment. You know, like Donkey Kong, you know, they put out a new game. They announced a new game after they teased out a shit ton of like Donkey Kong ports and, you know, Nintendo Classic stuff and all that kind of stuff. So I think that, you know, they've been putting all this F-Zero stuff out, right? So I think a new game definitely is possible. We are very saturated with racing games on Switch 2 right now. That might be the only thing, you know, especially with Air Riders coming. But man, I would love a new F-Zero. I think that would be really fucking fantastic. I think the last thing that I have here is I'd like to just see some OS updates. I think that there's a lot that I think needs to be fixed with the Switch 2. I'd love to see, you know, the game sharing improved. I'd love to see game chat improved. There's a lot of stuff, virtual game cards, all that kind of stuff is like feeling a little clunky right now. And I think at this point, they've probably gotten some feedback on a lot of the OS troubles that they have with the actual Switch 2 system. I think this is a little bit more pie in the sky, but that would be one of my big wants. I don't know if it's enough to warrant in a direct, but I just, you know, we'll probably do a whole episode soon about, I think, ways that the operating system on the Switch 2 could improve, because it definitely has a lot of things that I would like to see changed. But
of course,
we'll just have to see about that. But anything else? Any other last minute predictions we want to make before we end the main topic here?
Themes, they're not going to do it because it's the first year of the console, so it would have shipped with it. But give me a theme. Let me have, you know, a big old fish as the background or something awesome like that.
Give us the fish theme.
Yeah,
Come on.
Fish theme.
Come
Costco.
on.
Costco theme. Kill two birds with one
Costco
stone.
theme. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, when you're here, your family. Costco. That's the famous
it's
quote
true.
from
It's
Costco.
true.
Well, I think that's going to do it then for our main topic, gang. Folks, what do you think is going to happen? If you're listening to this episode right now or you're watching us on YouTube, leave a comment on that YouTube page here for our podcast with what you hope to see in the Nintendo Direct. Is there anything huge that we left out here? Hopefully, if all goes right, you've only got a couple days before the actual Direct comes out. So let us know your predictions, be it on our Discord, over social media, or anything like that. We would love to hear from you.
Will it be the PlayStation or the shrinking, fellas?
It's got to be one of two.
It's got to be one of the two.
Either or. Yeah. But I think that's going to do it for our main topic. And with that, we're going to take a small break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking all about the games that we've been playing recently. So I have been playing a few games this week. I did, as I alluded to earlier, actually fire up my PS5 and play a few games, one of which was the Shadow of the Colossus remake for the PS4, which I never played. And it's fabulous. I really love it. It's by Blue Point Games. They do amazing remasters. You know, they obviously did the HD remasters of Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. And then they did the Demon Souls remake as well. So this has been great playing this. It's been a long time since I've played the original Shadow of the Colossus for the PS2. But man, it is a timeless masterpiece. I was saying online on Blue Sky that I think that Shadow of the Colossus feels to be like the last video game that was ever made. It's like games turned into something else after Shadow of the Colossus, but Shadow of the Colossus feels like such a pure experience. It's like go to the thing, fight the boss, go back. It's like Mario Brothers, you know. It's just like go get the princess, step on the guys. You know what I mean? Like there's not much more to it than that, and it just feels so video gamey, right? But it's also obviously so beautiful and bleak, and the graphics are incredible on the new version. I still think that the original game for the PS2 has overall better vibes, you know, with that kind of low poly look with all the fog and the haze and everything like that. But man, this is a very, very good remake, and I'm glad I'm finally playing it. Other games I've been playing this week, shout out to Vince, who we also gave a shout out to at the beginning of the show, for alerting me to Pepper Grinder being on sale on the eShop. This was a Devolver platformer game that I had eyes on for a while, but then just never got around to buying. Finally been playing it. It's a lot of fun. It's a little frustrating and a little challenging in some ways, but it's got very fun, cool movement mechanics and really beautiful pixel art, and the soundtrack is fucking boss. So I would definitely recommend Pepper Grinder, especially while it's still on sale on the eShop. And then lastly, I did want to say, give myself a little pat on the back. I completed all the DLC for Picross S Plus on the Switch. That is, what is 9 times 150?
950.
Not exactly, but yes,
1350.
It's thank you. That is 1,350 puzzles that I have completed in that, plus all the bonus puzzles and plus all the clip Picross. So wow, I have a problem. I completed that, and I have moved on to picking back up Picross Jute Rodden's Guide to Pixel Museum, which is the latest game from Jupiter in the Picross series. This one's really fun. I've been really enjoying this. You play as a VTuber who goes around and looks at different paintings in a museum. And whenever you complete the puzzles, she gives you some like history and like some factoids about the painting style or the painter himself or themselves. And it's a great game. I've been really enjoying it, but that's mostly what I've been playing recently. Do you have a question about that game?
I have a question, David. And if this is, too far of a line, you can cut this. But have you ever played a Picross game where you're making nudes? You're making nipples, little bush, stuff like that.
I've wanted to, though. I think that it is honestly an untapped market that I would like. Just like I think a NSFW Picross game would,
and tasteful.
Yeah,
doesn't have to be. It could just be lewd.
Okay,
have you heard of the game Proverbs?
Yes, I play Proverbs. I've been enjoying Proverbs. Yeah.
I was gonna say if you like Picross, you might like Proverbs.
Yeah, I love Proverbs. I play that on my Steam Deck.
No joke here. It's just a similar puzzle game.
So I was expecting a joke from you. Chris.
Are there like boobs and butts?
Just
in
an
Proverbs?
earnest suggestion.
I'm not used to earnest Chris. I can't handle it. But speaking of earnest Chris, what have you been playing recently?
Scared stupid.
Ernest.
I've been playing a little game called Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Very good.
I have like 700 hours in it, and I'm in the second level because all I do is break the ground.
Yeah.
I break every piece of ground until there's no ground left to break.
Yeah.
That's how I play that game. It's mostly stress relief as opposed to like actual gameplay. But yeah, cannot stop breaking the ground. Cannot stop tunneling. That's it. The camera goes haywire. Also, the one game I do play, I guess I play that by myself, but I also play a game called The Bazaar, which I talked about last time I was on the show. It's like a roguelike auto battler where you're buying and selling items in a bazaar, and it's the best version of that kind of game. And then as far as games that I've been playing with some friends, there's a game called Peak. Are you guys familiar with Peak?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's really hard. It's very funny to watch your friends fall off a mountain.
I've seen that one. There's like that one clip that's going around like Instagram right now of that like streamer that falls
where they
off
throw the banana.
No.
Oh.
It's like this girl streamer and she like falls off. It's like from the perspective of the other players that she's playing with, and she like falls off an edge and just screams like a blood curdling scream,
and the scream just gets
like fades
further
away.
and further away.
Yeah. It makes me want to play the game, to be honest. But yeah.
And then I've been playing a little date and everything with Emily, and we're both super horny for the bed.
For the bed,
well, it would make perfect sense.
The bed is so hot.
Yeah, I mean, they all seem kind of. They're all like dudes, right? Or are some of them?
No.
They're everything. They're all of them. Yeah,
okay.
Concepts. They got concepts in that game.
They're all the types.
Interesting. Have you played that as well, Garrett?
No, but I've heard big things.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing here as
like the bed.
It is all genders. It seems like. But what about you, Garrett? What have you been playing recently?
Mainly two games. I've been playing Silksong, of course, enjoying it a lot, but it's, because, as you mentioned earlier, David, because it is a Souls game, baked into it is the fact that you are going to get pissed off inevitably when you are playing it. Especially, I got to a boss. I won't spoil anything, but I got to a boss that seemed like it was kind of a skill check. Like you have to be at least this good to really have the map open up and stuff like that. And I just spent about 3 hours of just going up, dying, rinse and repeat. Took a little break. But aside from Silksong, the other game that I've really been, putting a bunch of time into recently has been, of course, my beloved Fallout New Vegas.
Nice. Are you replaying this?
Yeah. I got it on my laptop. I have 230 mods on it. And so very frequently it just explodes. It just stops running and I have to go
that seems like a lot of mods
230. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's so much fun. It's one of the best games ever. And specifically, I got the hankering for it, not only because, the new season of that show's coming out, but I drove in July from Texas to California. And along that road, or along that drive, you go through New Mexico, you go through Arizona, just a lot of like expansive desert where like nothing's really going on. And I was just thinking, it's been a couple of years since I've played New Vegas. Let's make a Frankenstein's monster. So yeah, I've been having a ton of fun with that.
I love New Vegas. That's my favorite Fallout game for sure. And I'm very excited for season 2 of the show because it does seem like most of it's going to take place in New Vegas, which is such a cool setting for a TV show. But great stuff. Awesome. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode, gang. Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you so much, Garrett, for guesting today. Did you guys have a good time?
Had a great time.
Yeah.
Two thumbs way up.
Now that's pod racing.
Now that's pod racing. Okay. There's not the rule of fives. Okay, it's not the rule of fives. Thank you to both of you. It was a great time. I had a blast. Thank you very much to MilkyWay.co for doing our website. Thanks to Corduroy for doing our music. Thanks to all of our wonderful patrons on Patreon. And if you'd like to find me online, I'm pretty much everywhere on the internet at Monolith Fiji. What about you, Chris? Where can people find you online?
Please don't look for me online.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. What about you, Garrett? Where can people find you online?
If you go on Instagram and you type in Garrett Buss is my name, you'll find me.
Very good. And are you guys both still doing shows? You guys have any shows or comedy you want to plug?
Sure, yeah. I'm doing this. Well, when is this going to come out, David?
It should be out Wednesday. It should be out 2 days from now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you live in Los Angeles, on the 12th, on Friday, I'm doing a one-man show called Daddy Stronglegs at the Stray Theater. And then in October 3rd, I'm doing this show, a variety show called Explorophoria at the Lyric Hyperion. So
very cool.
Either of those.
What about you, Chris? You still doing Fuck This Week?
Yeah, you can find me on the most recent episode of Super Switch Headz.
Very good. We'd love to see that. All right. Well, if you'd like to find our show, this show, Super Switch Headz, on social media, you can find us at Blue Sky and Twitter at Switch Headz, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as Super Switch Headz. We have a website, switchheadz.com, and then we have a Discord, a Patreon, and a Facebook group. We'll have all 3 of those linked in the episode's description. Whether you are watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe over there if you can, or listening to us on Apple or Spotify. You'll find links there, and also leave us a review on Spotify or Apple. Share the show with a friend on Reddit, or word of mouth. It goes a really long way. And please, whatever you do, join us on the Discord. We have such a wonderful community over there. We'd love to have you. It's a great place to talk about the show, play multiplayer games with people. It's a wonderful community, and we would love to have you be a part of it. That's going to do it for this episode. We got another great episode for you next week, especially if there's a direct. We'll be talking about everything we got right and everything we got wrong next week. But in the meantime, gang, you guys know the drill. Be safe out there. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to one another. Now this is Pod Racing. We love you very much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.